The Whispering Woods had chosen Elian. The silver mark spread across his skin like living roots, pulsing with every beat of his heart. With each breath, the forest grew stronger within him, and somewhere deep beneath the ancient trees, something vast and ancient was waiting. There was only one place left to go, the Chamber of Hearts, the place where souls were bound to the forest forever. And once you entered, you never emerged unchanged. Lira pulled Elian through the glowing woods as crimson lanterns burned overhead. The forest pursued them relentlessly. Roots erupted from the ground behind their footsteps. Branches twisted and reached through the mist like grasping hands. Far in the distance, the roar of the guardian echoed through the trees. Elian stumbled against a silver-barked tree, breathing hard. "It's getting worse," he whispered. The mark had spread up his arm. Thin, glowing roots pulsed beneath his skin, branching toward his heart. And with every pulse came visions. He saw lovers crying beneath the lantern trees. He saw spirits trapped inside glowing bark. He saw roots winding around human hearts. And deep underground, he saw a colossal heart of roots and light, beating, watching, waiting. Lira cupped his face in trembling hands. "Stay with me," she whispered. Her voice cut through the noise in his mind. For one brief moment, the whispers faded. The forest hated that. A shadow stepped from the crimson fog. Caelum emerged from the darkness, his silver eyes filled with urgency. "We don't have much time." Elian straightened, forcing himself to stand. "Then take us to the chamber." Lira immediately shook her head. Fear and grief flickered across her face. Entering the chamber meant facing a truth few had survived. "The chamber tests your heart," she said. Elian held her gaze. "And if we fail?" Caelum answered. "The forest keeps you." There was no other choice. Together the three descended beneath the Whispering Woods. Below the roots, below the ruins, below the hidden lake and the glowing lantern trees, a forgotten world stretched beneath the earth. Ancient stone halls rose from the darkness, wrapped in silver roots that pulsed like veins. Soft light glowed from symbols carved into the walls. And everywhere Elian looked, he saw hearts. Thousands of them. Some large, some small, all etceteraed into the stone by hands long gone. Elian reached out and touched one of the carvings. The letters beneath his fingers were two names joined together. Names of people who had once loved each other. Names of souls the forest had claimed. He turned slowly, taking in the endless walls of names. "There are so many." Lira's voice was barely a whisper. They were all real. Every carving was a promise. Every promise had become part of the curse. At the end of the hall, two enormous stone doors stood waiting. Their surfaces were covered in glowing roots and silver symbols. As Elian approached, the doors trembled. A deep heartbeat echoed through the chamber. Then the doors began to open. Warm, golden light spilled into the darkness. The Chamber of Hearts had awakened. Elian stepped inside and stopped. At the center of the vast underground chamber floated the heart of the forest. Massive, radiant, alive. Its roots stretched in every direction, disappearing into the earth like endless veins. Each pulse sent waves of light through the chamber, and every beat echoed inside Elian's chest. The room fell silent. Then a voice spoke. "You have returned." The words did not come from the air. They resonated inside their minds. Ancient, endless, and unbearably lonely. Elian stepped forward. "What are you?" The roots shifted. The glowing heart pulsed brighter, and the voice answered, "I was once human." Silence followed. Even Caelum lowered his eyes. Long before the Whispering Woods existed, there had been a girl. She loved someone she could not save. Her grief shattered her heart. Her grief became magic, and that magic spread through the earth. Trees rose. Roots deepened. A forest was born from sorrow. Over centuries, her pain grew into something vast and hungry. The forest learned to feed on the strongest human emotion of all, love. And so the curse began. Lira lowered her eyes. The truth she had carried for centuries could no longer remain hidden. Guardians were never protectors. They were caretakers of the curse, chosen to guide lost souls toward the heart, including Elian. He turned toward her slowly. Pain and disbelief filled his expression. "You knew?" Tears welled in Lyra's eyes. "I was trying to save you. By lying to me?" The words cut deeper than any root. The heart sensed his heartbreak immediately. The chamber flared with golden light. The roots pulsed faster, hungry. The voice returned, softer now. "Give me your soul, and she will live free." Roots unfurled across the floor and moved toward Elian. Not threatening, inviting. Love always requires sacrifice. Lira rushed forward, tears streaming down her face. "No!" For centuries she had obeyed the forest. She had guided travelers, watched souls disappear, silently endured the burden of the curse. But now she was fighting it, fighting for Elian. Elian stared at the glowing heart, at the endless roots, at the woman he had come to love, and at last he understood the true cruelty of the Whispering Woods. The forest did not force sacrifice. It made love offer itself willingly. The mark on his hand spread across his chest, glowing brighter than ever. The chamber trembled. Roots wrapped around his feet. Slowly, the heart began pulling him forward, inevitably, as if it had been waiting for him all along. Lira screamed his name. "Elian!" The roots tightened. The heart's voice filled his mind with one final truth. "She will die if you refuse." Everything became still. Elian closed his eyes, and for the first time he stood at the edge of a choice that could change everything. His freedom, Lyra's life, and the fate of the Whispering Woods itself. In the Whispering Woods, love was never free. Someone always paid the price.